Okay, we're ready to reconvene our meeting. Good evening and welcome to this meeting of the Santa Fe ISD Board of Trustees. We believe that it's important this meeting be conducted and organized in an efficient manner, and to that end would like to outline some ground rules for all of us to follow during the course of the evening. First and foremost, you should recognize this is a board meeting. By law, most of the discussion and all of the voting must be done in open session, but public participation by necessity must be limited to that part of the agenda that is reserved for public input. Occasionally, the board may seek comment or clarification from an administrator in attendance or even from someone in the audience. It's the board's prerogative to seek that information from non-board members as it chooses. However, unsolicited participation from the audience is inappropriate. Secondly, at times it may seem that we are voting on issues of importance with little or no discussion. Please be advised that all board members get a packet of background information about the various subjects on tonight's agenda several days in advance of actually coming here to participate in the meeting. After receiving our packets, all board members have and often exercise the opportunity to contact various school administrators to ask specific questions in an effort to better understand the issues on which we're expected to vote. We thank you for being interested in your school district as witnessed by your presence here tonight. We encourage your active participation in the educational process of your children. We appreciate your cooperation in helping us conduct the business of the Santa Fe ISD in an organized and civilized manner, and we hope you enjoy the meeting. And with that, Mr. Rothmel, would you open us with an invocation, please, and then we'll say our pledges.
Please bow your head, please. Heavenly Father, we come tonight with grateful hearts. We thank you for the opportunity to be here. Father, I pray that you'll be with our board tonight. Give us the guidance and wisdom to make the right decisions for our district. Heavenly Father, we pray that you'll be with our students, teachers, and staff, that you'll watch over them and keep them safe. Heavenly Father, I pray that you'll continue to heal our community. Father, I pray that you'll bless everyone here tonight and give us a safe journey home. For this we ask in your precious name, amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, do we have any action from our closed session?
No, sir.
Right. Okay, we'll now move into our information items, and we'll start with our monthly reports.
Yes, sir. We have the following reports for your review, prepared in your packets this evening. Our personnel, child nutrition, tax collection, we'll hear more about in a little bit. Technology, transportation, finance, our police department maintenance, our bond information, student overnight trips at a campus, and we will begin with an overview from Mr. Atkins on our projects.
How y'all doing this evening? All right, quick update. Last week with the fall break, we were very, very busy at the high school. We completed several projects that were authorized back in June for, or July for the security and vestibule. We put in a new glass wall system in the secure vestibule with the BR glass. We put in 2 of the BR windows in the office. The new office casework was also installed. The column, if you went in there and you saw a column next to the metal detectors, that was removed. And we also added 2 doors going to the ag classroom and the GMR classroom directly from the corridor, so they can go in there without having to go through the shops. We also have been working and got active the door alarms in the curriculum side of the building, so those are now up and running and have audible alarms on them. Also, the door in the library and the cafeteria are active, so those will make very loud, piercing noises if you open them and you're not authorized to open those. So those are all going, and we're continuing to get the rest of the doors monitored, alarmed like that on the west side, and we're working our way that way. for the new elementary school. We are still moving along. We had a pretty productive week. They poured some paving. They've got all the underground concrete for Area C done. They're going to try to pour the slab in Area C this week. So one section of slab that still has left to be done. They're also shooting for a Friday date to pour the second floor concrete over Area A, which is where the office and the second grade wing is. So that is moving along very well. If the weather will cooperate this week, if not, it'll be another week before we do that. And once the second floor is poured, they'll start putting on the roof decking, and you'll start seeing some walls come in, and we'll start working to dry in Area A, pour Area B in a few weeks after that. So although we're a little behind schedule, we're hoping to make it up before the end of the project, but the weather in September really put us back a couple weeks, so but they've done really well considering there was about 5 working days in that month. Other projects, we have been, we cleared out where geometry and construction is going to go back there behind the high school, also over the break as well. So that fall zone is gone, so that'll be ready for them whenever they get ready to go outside and start doing construction. Any questions?
Got a comment? A couple weeks ago, I was in the school, the high school, in the counselor's rooms, and I didn't like that floor through the hallway, but I think with the paint scheme, it looks really well. And I appreciate your attention to detail on all that.
Sure. When it comes to colors, I leave it up to experts, but
It looks good in there. Everything good.
Any other questions for Mr. Atkins?
No, sir.
Thank you, Bob.
thanks.
Anything else on the monthly report?
Yes, Chief Ron will give us a safety update, the items in his department.
Good evening. One of the new things we're going to roll out here shortly is staffed metal detectors at the high school during the evening hours. So they'll be in function till 10 p.m. and that'll encompass all the extracurricular activities. That way the building is secure from start to finish of the day. As for the timeline when it's going to roll out, it all depends on our applicant process. We're still working on one candidate, working on the background packet on that, and we've just had one of our security guards put in their notice, so we'll be looking for a second. As soon as we can get those positions filled, then we're going to roll out that evening shift.
Any questions for Chief? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
That's it? Alrighty, next we've got the board member training. The State Board of Education rule requires the board president to make a public announcement each year of those board members who have completed the required continuing education, who have exceeded the hours, or who are deficient. The legislature amended its statute on training to require an announcement at the last regular board meeting before the district's uniform election date, whether or not an election was held. Since that is this month, as of October 22nd, 2018, 6 of the trustees have completed required training in the following areas: board development and governments, and 1 member is currently completing those hours. All board members have received the required Senate Bill 1566 training, which had to have been completed by September 1st, and the team building training we will schedule for after the election on November 6th. All right, next we will have the district communication survey.
Okay, there we go. Good evening. I am going to share with you the results of our parent communications survey. We conducted the survey beginning August 20th. We shared that at the parent meeting at the beginning of the school year, and we ran that through September 17th and had a total of 282 participants. On the question 1 was, how many school-age children do you have who are attending Santa Fe High School? Of those participants, 51.8% had one child who attended, 33.9% had two children, and 15.11% had three or more children attending our Santa Fe ISD schools. Of the children attending, what is the grade level? And you can see that it scanned between pre-K through 12th grade, so it was equally spread across those grade levels. Question 3, when asked how well-informed parents felt that they are about the events, activities, and issues at the school where their oldest child attends, 76% of the parents said that they were very well or pretty well informed. On question 4, we ask what they were most interested in receiving from their child's school, and that was rated on a 1 being the most important and a 5 being the least interested. And so those top 5 that they asked or were most interested in were student safety and safety measures being taken by the school, descriptions of the curriculum and instructional programs in place, rationale or reasons or decisions that are made by school leadership, mainly the principal, school building construction or renovation updates, and descriptions of optional programs that are available on the campus. When asked about what additional information parents wanted to receive from their child's school, there were 159 responses. So what I've done is put those in some common themes that were shared, which included safety was the top priority, accountability ratings and the breakdown of the data, more information about the gifted and talented program, UIL competitions, and the requirements for students to compete academically in UIL, information on specific classes regarding curriculum and what was being taught in those classes, scholarships, and then timely calendar events and reminders. Question 6. 60% of parents strongly agree there are adequate opportunities for parents to express concerns and opinions about important issues at their child's school. On question 7, 51% of the parents said concerns and opinions of parents and the community are seriously considered by the principals and the school administration. Question 8 is how well informed do you feel about issues impacting education in your local school district? 41% of the parents said they are well informed about issues, and 41% said they were somewhat informed. Question 9, once again, is very It looks very much like we asked in question 4. Question 4 was directed at the campus. Question 9 was asking what would they like to know from the district perspective as far as communication. And once again, rating it on their most important and then least, 1 being the most and 5 being the least. And once again, these pretty much mirrored what they want to know from the campus as well. Information about student safety and safety measures, rationale or reasons for decisions that are made by the school district, academic information regarding schools in the district, budget, tax, and finance information that impact funding, and curriculum and educational program options were the top 5. Question 10, once again, 126 responses, and was asking about what additional information would you like to receive. And once again, since there were so many responses, it had these common themes or these threads. About safety and security was the top. We have implemented once again through the Public Relations Department the Tribe U University, which gives the community people or stakeholders a firsthand view of operations of the school. And on November the 14th, we will be having a safety meeting, and you can go online and register, but it's not, you don't have to register to attend, but it also gives us an opportunity to know how many, the presenter, how many handouts, and/or for that particular one, there will be tour of the facilities, campuses. So in that particular case, we would need to know so that we can make transportation arrangements for that. Also, safety drills when they're being performed, and several campuses have already had their safety drills, fire drills, intruder drills, and campus principals are sending out notifications to parents through Family Access. Also, active shooter training materials, and although we can't share our safety plan, all staff and substitutes were trained by the police department in CRACE training on October the 8th, and there will be a community CRACE training held in the spring that the police department will conduct. Transparency and when there are safety and bullying issues at our schools. Currently, we have parent notification letters that are sent out when we're aware of that. And actually, Dr. Schumann will be following me with a report regarding bullying. And then set up for similar ways for parents to make suggestions or receive information from the schools. And all of our district emails are online by campus and by departments, but also we also are able to, if they have questions, they can ask through the portal. So we encourage people to go there. And then the principals are providing newsletters, parent newsletters that go out monthly, and in some cases bi-monthly. And then also the counselors have initiated with the assistance of the curriculum and instruction department what they're calling coffee talks. And so they're addressing some of those issues and concerns that parents have, and are opening up those for during the day, but also in the evening, so that it allows for flexible schedules. On question 11, 55.48% of the parents said there were adequate opportunities for parents to express their concerns and opinions about important issues impacting the schools, and 31.39% were neutral and neither agreed or disagreed. On question 12, concerns and issues expressed or seriously considered was the question, and 51.83% of parents strongly agree, and 33.58% were neutral and neither agreed or disagreed. Question 13 was overall, how well informed are you about the issues impacting public education in your state? 77.32% of parents said they were very well informed, and 47.21% said they were somewhat informed. And because today there's so many ways of us being able to disseminate information, this question number 14 was asked them what was their preferred way. And so the most preferred communication methods, the top 5 were school messenger text messages, which we have the ability to do now, as well as the call outs, which was the second. School messenger emails, our school and campus websites, and then our family access portal, which we have been utilizing a great deal this year. Question 15 was when asked about other communication preferences. There were 84 responses, and the common themes were included as well, and it pretty much mimicked what they had said before about the text messaging, the emails, and also the one thing that was added here was the Remind 101, which teachers and administrators have access to in order to communicate with parents. And we conducted this survey through SurveyMonkey, so you can barely see that, but all of this data was just downloaded into this PowerPoint from that site. But recommendations and next steps is that we want to use these survey results to modify the communications and the goals for continuous improvement. We're always working on that continuous improvement. We want to see those percentages of parents and stakeholders being more agreeable and more responsive to our communications, but we also want to improve that two-way communication. And so these are our steps. We're going to share with you this evening, of course, and then we're going to discuss our findings with our district leadership meeting, which is on Wednesday of this week. We will provide this full report. I will have it uploaded on the website tomorrow, and a link on Facebook and Twitter. And then we're going to highlight the project across the Santa Fe ISD community. And then we would like to, as a district and as the PR department, to follow up with a survey in the spring of 2019, so that we can see some improvement in the way that we're communicating. And my email is on the website, and I would, take any comments or concerns or anything that anyone would want to, any input that they would want to give. And I would just like to thank the number of parents who did participate in the survey. And that concludes that portion of the results. So unless you had any questions for me.
Any questions from Ms. Andrews? No. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
And next, Dr. Schumann is going to give us the district bullying information.
Thank you, Mr. Norman. There we go. This evening, I'm providing you with an overview of bullying, the development of legislation and board policy related to bullying, and prevention procedures for Santa Fe ISD. Provided locally in Santa Fe ISD board policy, FFI Legal gives us the definition for bullying per Texas Education Code 37.0832. Bullying means a single significant act or a pattern of acts by one or more student directed at another student that exploits an imbalance of power and involves engaging in written or verbal expression through electronic means or physical conduct that satisfies the applicability requirements below, and that affect the student in a way of physically harming them, damaging their property, reasonable fear of harm to the student's person or damage to the student's property, is sufficiently severe, persistent, pervasive, creates an intimidating, threatening, or abusive educational environment, disrupts the educational process or the orderly operation of a classroom or school, or infringes on the rights of the victim at school. And then it also includes cyberbullying. Cyberbullying means that it's done through the use of an electronic communication device, including through the use of a cellular or other type of telephone, a computer, a camera, electronic mail, instant messaging, text messaging, a social media application, an internet website, or any other internet-based communication tool. And then where does this policy apply? It applies when the bullying occurs on or is delivered to school property or to the site of a school-sponsored or school-related activity on or off school property, on a district-provided transportation. Cyberbullying that occurs on or off school property if it interferes with the student's educational opportunity or substantially disrupts the orderly operation of a classroom, school, or school-sponsored or school-related activity. And then just taking a historical look at the development of bullying policy. Prior to 1999, a few school districts had policies that dealt specifically with bullying per U.S. Department of Education. State legislatures began passing legislation following the mass shooting at Columbine in 1999. By 2011, 46 states had reported that they had in effect bullying laws, again per the USDE, U.S. Department of Education. In 2011, Texas House Bill 1942 was passed for implementation in the 2012-13 school year. The Texas Association of School Boards provided a policy update for policy FFI, and some of the information including in that policy update included a definition of bullying, it prohibited bullying, prohibited retaliation, established parent notification procedures, established procedures for reporting bullying, counseling procedures, prohibited school discipline for those bullied when they used reasonable self-defense in response to bullying, required the discipline of students with disabilities for bullying comply with federal law, including IDEA. Senate Bill 179, David's Law, expanded the policy on bullying to explain and further detail cyberbullying. It was approved by the Board of Trustees in December 2017. The definition of cyberbullying is bullying that's done through the use of electronic communication devices, including through the use of cellular or other type of telephone, a computer, a camera, electronic, mail, instant messaging, text messaging, social media, application, an internet website, or any other internet-based communication tool. It established timelines for parent contacts and extends the rules outside of the school day. District procedures regarding bullying prevention. The most recent updates to the Santa Fe ISD Board Policy, FFI, were approved in December 2017, and components of the district's policy include, again, the definition, prohibits bullying, things that changed. It requires procedures for anonymous reporting and bullying. On each of the campus websites, we have a place for anonymous reporting. The district police department also implemented tribal tips for anonymous reporting this school year. Parent notification procedures include the parent of the one being bullied be notified within 3 business days, and the parent of the one accused of bullying within a reasonable time period. Investigation is to be conducted within 10 business days of the report, with the final determination of the outcome made to the superintendent or her designee. School counselors are to be involved to meet with both the student being bullied and the student determined to be bullying others. Counselors also meet with students for conflict resolution when the incident is determined not to be bullying. It prohibits school discipline for those bullied when they used reasonable self-defense in response to bullying. And it requires the discipline of students with disabilities comply with IDEA. Bullying intervention procedures. These are the procedures that are in place based on our current FFI local policy. Investigation begins within 24 hours of the report. If necessary, a stay-away agreement is put in place between the students involved in the conflict. reporting to parents of the alleged victims, meeting those timelines. The investigation concludes within 10 days. The administrator utilizes the bullying checklist for schools published by the Texas School Safety Center at Texas State University to determine if bullying occurred. Parents are notified of the outcomes of the investigation. Discipline is determined based on the Santa Fe ISD Student Code of Conduct. Counseling services are assigned. A management plan is developed, and there's follow-up with the students involved. Notification to the district as to the determination of whether the incident is determined to be bullying, and the discipline assigned, as well as information that the parent notifications occurred. The U.S. Department of Education Civil Rights data collection occurs every 2 years, with 17-18 being a reporting year. The district reports as to whether it has a bullying policy and if that policy is available online. Campuses maintain data on multiple aspects of bullying. These data are not tracked by the Texas Education Agency, and previously the district data reporting systems did not include the collection of these data. In prior years, bullying violations were recorded under a Discipline Code 21, violation of Student Code of Conduct, and were not distinguishable from other violations. The district has now established processes and local discipline codes to support this data collection and reporting of bullying, and will provide data on bullying for the 17-18 civil rights data collection. The board has been provided a report including all discipline reports reporting bullying this school year. To date, 62 bullying reports have been made, with 3 meeting the definition of bullying. The new Public Education Information Management System, we call it PEIMS, those codes have been created for district reporting, and within PEIMS, data collection includes multiple types of data such as financial, student demographics, assessment, special programs, attendance, discipline, etc. But we have created that local PEIMS code in order to effectively track bullying. And bullying and prevention, what do we have in place? Well, October is Bullying Prevention Month, and the campus have had multiple activities and educational opportunities for students in order to help with bullying prevention. Both elementary campuses provided peer conflict and bullying coffee talk for parents. They had an author visit regarding friendship, anti-bullying, and respect. Weekly class lessons presented by their counselors. Videos related to bullying prevention were also shown. Kubitschek also published the parent powwow, an information item on the difference between bullying and peer conflict. They made weekly kindness announcements. At our secondary campuses, bullying prevention lessons were presented through advisories, and the junior high developed a hashtag SFJHBeKind for weekly challenges for kindness for both teachers and students. They developed a presentation on social media and cyberbullying and are including both counselors and administrators in those presentations. Santa Fe High School has begun a program called Safe School Ambassadors, which is focused on bullying prevention and the development of positive relationships. The high school this week is also having an Orange Out bullying prevention day this Wednesday, and they're asking all staff and students to wear orange in honor of a Unity Day. In addition to these activities and programs. Campuses are focusing on positive behavior intervention support. The district this month received a $200,000 grant called Stop School Violence Grant. It was a competitive grant that we will have for 3 years to purchase software and also for some additional support staff. Santa Fe ISD has developed threat assessment teams, and bullying information or concerns are given to the threat assessment teams for consideration. Our DARE program focuses on positive relationships and positive choices, including bullying prevention. We also have our tribal tips and anonymous campus reporting, and then reporting to anyone on the campus, counselors, teachers, administrators, coaches, etc. In conclusion, the district prohibits bullying. Bullying is taken seriously upon every report. SFISD provides multiple means of reporting. There are policies and procedures in place for investigating and recording. Disciplinary procedures are enforced. Counseling is provided. If you have questions or need additional information about bullying, please feel free to contact me. And as of tomorrow, we will be placing this presentation on our district webpage.
Any questions for Dr. Schuman? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, that's it for our information items. So now we will move into our consent agenda. Dr. Wall?
Yes, sir. We have the following items for your consideration and approval in our consent agenda this evening. Our minutes from prior meetings, our accounts payable for the month, budget amendments, student transfer approvals, and a bilingual waiver request that is a 5-year requirement from 2013, I believe.
Any questions on the consent agenda?
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda as presented. Any other questions? If not, would you cast your votes, please? It has passed unanimously. Thank you. All right, with that, now we will move into our regular agenda. Dr. Wall, the first one is our Galveston County Schools Consortium, the legislative priorities.
Yes, sir. I'm happy to share that our county school districts have come together, boards and superintendents, and created a list of 2019 legislative priorities going into our legislative session in January. So I'll highlight a few for you, and then we'll also place them on our website as well. And some of our key points, obviously, school safety is a priority. Establishing a school safety allotment for per student in Texas Public Schools will provide school districts with resources to maintain and sustain the safety requirements that they wish to and need to take in place, and as well in giving the districts the flexibility to create either increase M&O tax rate or additional improvements without a tax rate election. So those are some of the areas that hopefully our legislators will be considering moving forward with funding and safety. We also will talk about changing requirements for drills to allow us to include lockdowns or assessments in addition to fire drills. So that's something that they'll be looking at, as well as banning e-cigarettes. In regards to accountability, we are advocating for a community-based accountability system that places more emphasis on accountability and better reflects the diversity in Texas school districts and values each community rather than misleading A through F system. Also eliminating state assessments that are not required by federal law, and prohibiting state assessments from serving as a primary indicator for school teacher or student performance. Also, in regards to school finance, adopting an adequate and equitable school funding system that reduces the state's over-reliance on recapture and property value increases while providing sufficient funding to meet federal, state, and local standards. Funding our full full-day pre-K programs for all students regardless of eligibility requirements. And also increasing state funding for our TRS active care, health care for our employees, and also for retirement employees. And finally, opposing any voucher taxpayer credits or tuition reimbursements or programs that divert public dollars, tax dollars, to private or home school students with no academic standards or accountability. That's it.
All righty. Anyone have any questions on those?
President, I make a motion we approve the adoption of the Galveston County Schools Consortium 2019 legislative priorities.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and second that we approve the adoption of the Galveston County Schools Consortium. Again, any other questions? All right, cast your votes, please. Mr. Snyder?
Oh, I thought I pushed the button, sorry about that.
It's passed unanimously.
I
Thank you.
pushed the button. Big fingers.
Okay, Ms. Talitsky, I guess we have our 2018 tax roll. Compliance with the tax code.
We do. Good evening. State Property Tax Code, Section 26.09E states, "The assessor shall enter the amount of tax determined as provided by the section in the appraisal roll and submit it to the governing body of the unit for approval. The appraisal rolls with amounts of tax entered as approved by the governing body constitutes the tax rolls. Taxes have been calculated and entered on the appraisal roll for each account. The tax levy for 2018 is $19,915,928.97, derived from the 2018 tax rate being applied to the 2018 appraisal roll. Tax statements are scheduled to be mailed no later than today, October the 22nd. We are asking the board to approve the 2018 tax roll and recognize compliance with the Texas Property Tax Code."
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the 2018 tax roll and recognize the compliance with the Texas Property Tax Code.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we approve the 2018 tax roll. Any questions? Not, would you cast your votes, please? And it has passed unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Hansard, you have a National Education Professionals Day proclamation?
Yes, sir. National Education Support Professionals Day is November the 14th, 2018. This day is set aside to recognize, honor, and thank our personnel in food services, clerical services, transportation services, health and student services, technical services, custodial and maintenance services, paraeducators, and security services. These education support professionals are essential partners in our district and are often the first people our students encounter on a daily basis. I'm asking the board to proclaim November 14th, 2018 as National Education Support Professionals Day.
Mr. President, I move that the board proclaim November 14, 2018 as National Educational Support Professionals Day in Santa Fe ISD.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the November the 14th for the National Education Support Professionals Day. Cast your votes, please. And it is passed unanimously. Thank you. Hey, Dr. Schuman, you have our district and campus improvement plans for 2018-19.
Thank you, Mr. Norman. Texas Education Code, TEC Section 11.251 requires each local education agency to develop both district and campus improvement plans. These plans are the primary record supporting expenditures attributed to state compensatory ed program in Title I, Part A. Additionally, TEC Section 11.251 requires that the State Board of Education ensure that the LEA and all campus plans be developed, reviewed, and revised annually for the purpose of improving the performance of all students. Annual board approval must ensure that the district and campus plans are mutually supportive to accomplish the district's mission and board goals, in addition to the objectives listed in TEC Chapter 4. These documents are living documents and will continue to be updated by district and campus personnel throughout the school year to ensure they are reflective of the current actions and plans of the district and each campus. The district improvement plan was reviewed and approved by DEIC, and campus improvement plans by each campus improvement team. Campuses have already shared their goals with you through a board workshop, and the district plan is shared with you this evening and will provide presentations and future workshops for its review. The campuses also shared their plans in a public presentation, and the district and campus improvement plans will be published on our website following board approval.
Any questions?
Mr. President, I make a motion to review and approve the 2018-2019 district and campus improvement plans as presented.
Second.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the 2018-19 district and campus improvement plans. Again, any other questions?
No, sir.
All right, cast your votes, please. And it has passed unanimously.
Thank you.
Ma'am. Chief, next couple items are yours.
With the addition of all the extra police staff and security staff, we're still lacking 2 vehicles for our fleet. We've located a source in San Antonio for used refurbished police vehicles. That company is Southwest Public Safety, which is a by-board approved vendor. Their quote includes 2 2016 Ford Explorer police utility vehicles with all the installed emergency equipment at a cost for both $39,998. We're asking the board to approve the one-time purchase of the listed vehicles with equipment from Southwest Public Safety, a by-board approved vendor, an amount not to exceed $39,998.
Chief Braun, will this put the fleet at capacity to include the new elementary school that's going to open up?
Yes, it will.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions for Chief?
No.
It's your pleasure.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the one-time purchase of the listed vehicles with installed equipment from Southwest Public Safety, a by-board approved vendor, an amount not to exceed $39,998.
Second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve getting these 2 vehicles. Any other questions?
No, sir.
All right, cast your votes, please. And it has passed unanimously. Next, I think you got some body cameras.
Yes, sir. With the addition of the staff for the department, we're in need of 13 cameras. And quote is from Safety Vision. It's a sole source vendor for the Prima Facie Elite cameras. Their quote includes 13 body-worn cameras, 2 multi-unit charging stations, the required software, and a 2-year warranty as a cost of $8,117. We're asking the board to approve the one-time purchase of the body-worn cameras in an amount not to exceed $8,117.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the one-time purchase of the police body-worn cameras in the amount not to exceed $8,117.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we buy the police body cameras. Any other questions for the chief? All right, cast your votes, please. And it has passed unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, Mr. Atkins, I think you've got several here. Our testing agreement for the new elementary.
Yes, sir, Mr. Norman. So this is a building commissioning service from CMTA. They've already they're already providing commissioning services on this project for the new elementary to look at the mechanical and electrical systems in the IECC code that was updated 2015. It also had an additional service called out for building envelope testing. This checks for air leakage in the building during construction process so that you can make sure you get a tighter, more efficient, and better indoor air quality building. This service would come in and test the building, hopefully before we complete cover, and check it for energy leaks, air leaks, and such, so that we can get them corrected and make sure that we have a tighter building that will reduce energy costs for operation over the life of the building and also make the building more comfortable for the students and staff who will be occupying the building once it's completed. So it's a way just to ensure a more efficient and healthier building.
Any questions?
Mr. President, I make a motion, we approve the building commissioning agreement with CMTA for building envelope testing on the William Barnett Elementary School at a cost not to exceed $38,500.
I second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve this building commissioning agreement. Any other questions for Mr. Atkins? Okay, cast your votes, please. And it's passed unanimously. Thank you. See, the next one, you've got some fencing for the field house.
Yes, sir. So it's been, we were asked to consider and look at pricing to relocate the fence on the east side of the field house to come from the north to the south wall, which would enclose the overhead door where they park the gators, or ice machines and water buckets and all that are located, just to add some more security because they do pass to and from that during football practices, band practices, and other times the field are used to get water and different supplies out to the field from the field house. So what we're proposing is taking that fence and relocating out to the front of the building. That way it would all be behind a lock gate during those practices, and we wouldn't have to have a gate open to the public that is unsecured.
Any questions on this one?
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the American Fence to provide fencing material and installation to the high school football stadium field house for a price not to exceed $3,913.56.
Second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve this fence. Any questions?
No, sir.
Cast your votes, please. That is passed unanimously. Okay, next you got some of Kubitschek.
Yes, sir. So Kubitschek fencing in the front is existing all the way up to the hard top. It doesn't quite enclose the hard top. And then there's some fencing in the back that we enclose this summer, but all that fencing is 4-foot fencing. So during a security audit, it was recommended that we consider looking at raising that fence to 6-foot fencing. So we got a price to redo just the exterior perimeter fence of the 4-foot to 6. Also enclose the hard top with some gates so that they could come out from PE through the gym onto the hard top without getting into an unsecure area. And so this price includes those gates as well. It also includes replacing the 4-foot fence in the back so that all the fence would be 6 foot all the way around the campus on the playground areas that are accessible from the unsecured part of surrounding the school. We price galvanized, and that price is the $17,316. It would be another $3,000 if we wanted to go with a black fence to do the same perimeter part, which would give it a little bit more aesthetic. So I just got that price this afternoon, so that's why it's not included in this agenda item.
How much longer does that black fence last?
I think it's about the same. I think it's a black coated galvanized fence. So I don't think you get any more longevity. I think you get some aesthetic out of it. It just looks a little nicer. That's what we have at the high school. In some of the areas, some of the new fence we put up behind the area right there between the student parking and the school is black. So
So it matched the fencing that we would just put over the junior high?
it'll match the
Black.
fencing at Kubitschek at junior high as well.
Okay.
So
So can we look at doing that instead of just a galvanized? Get all matched.
You can include that in the motion if you want.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion we approve McDonald Fence to provide fencing material installation to Kubitschek Elementary at a price not to exceed at $17,316.61 with the addition of the cost of the black.
yeah, it just about 3,000. It was less than 3,000, so 3,000 more to cover it.
Second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the McDowell fence. Everybody understands that in his motion, he's also added the additional cost to make it the black fence. Any questions on that? Not, would you cast your votes, please? Okay, it is passed. Okay, next you have the agreement with Kosmosky.
Yes, sir. So in the 2016 bond referendum, it was identified as one of the projects we were going to try to get done after we got the new elementary school done and the 2 roofs at Cowan and junior high completed, that we would do parking lots at the junior high north parking lot where the buses go, and then, I'm sorry, south parking lot where the buses go, and the north and south parking lots for this building, and remove those and replace those with proper drainage and concrete parking so that we can improve them, because all 3 parking lots are in really poor condition. Kosmosky has offered their civil engineering firm that does design and engineering services for civil infrastructure type projects and parking lots and such for both public and private firms. They've offered their engineering services to help us write the specifications, help us evaluate bid documents, do construction administration to the project, and make sure the project conforms to the standards that we expect for the project. This service is similar to what we have with Create Architects on our schools and PBK on our roofs. So their cost to provide these services is a not to exceed $145,422.
Bob, is this money coming out of the bond that we?
Yes, it was called for in the bond, so it's all budgeted in there.
Any other questions for Bob?
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the professional services agreement with Kosmosky, Inc. to provide engineering, construction design documents, and construction administration services for parking lot replacement at junior high and EY Cowan Educational Support Center for a cost not to exceed $145,422.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve this professional services agreement. Any questions? Cast your votes, please. And it is passed unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you, sir. Mr. McKinney, we got some bus security cameras and other items.
Good evening. What we have is the REI 6-camera systems for 20 of the buses. We already have it on 24 buses. This is for 20 additional systems to equip all of our fleet except for maybe the 7 oldest ones, and which are rarely used. And those we would be able to equip with the systems that we pulled off of the regular route buses. This would equip all of our regular route buses and all of our special needs buses with these 6-camera digital systems that we can access via Wi-Fi access points that are already installed on our building. And it allows us to perform daily health checks on the system to make sure everything's running before the buses go out. So we're asking that you approve the purchase of the REI 6-camera systems and on-site installation from Longhorn Bus Sales, which is a buy-board vendor, for a price not to exceed $64,122.
Any questions?
Mr. President, I make a motion we approve the purchase of REI 6-camera system and on-site installation from Longhorn Bus Sales, a buy-board vendor, for a price not to exceed $64,122.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve these camera systems for the buses. Any other questions? Cast your votes, please. And it's passed unanimously. All right, now you got the bus monitoring system as well.
Yes, the bus monitoring system is from Zonar. They're a sole source vendor that provides a whole suite of services for our buses, including vehicle safety, any engine codes. If they're having problems, our mechanics can access that remotely. Accurate real-time GPS and also accurate student information. It has rider accountability, so it keeps up with the students, where they get on, where they get off, and that information is securely available to parents through an app or through text messaging. So what we have for you is approving the purchase of Zonar equipment and service not to exceed $60,067.05 from Zonar Systems.
Mark, this program right here will solve a lot of problems about kids being left on the school buses, or they got dropped off to the wrong spot, or did they even get on the school bus. Is that correct? Did I understand that
So
right?
as we approach each stop, the students that are assigned to that stop will come up. They'll be visible to the driver. It also allows us to take roll every day, so we know what our high attendance days for the year, which helps us with funding. But it allows us to not only be accountable for where they got on, when they got on, the parents can also see when the bus is scheduled to arrive. If it's running behind, it'll adjust and let them know, you know, how long it'll be till the bus is at their stop. So on a rainy day where we're typically running slow, they can see that the bus is running slow if they've downloaded the app. So it's just another layer of accountability.
Mark, that'd be a real good deal, I think. Thank you.
Mr. President, I make the motion to approve the purchase of Zonar equipment and services not to exceed $60,067.05 from Zonar Systems.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the Zonar equipment for the buses. Any other questions? All right, cast your votes, please. Has passed unanimously.
Thank you.
And I believe that is it for our regular agenda items tonight. We will now move into our board communication, and Ms. Hansard, I will start with you.
Yes, sir, Mr. Norman. I just want to remind everyone that the campuses are celebrating Red Ribbon Week this week, and our YUM Nutrition Services Department and our Transportation Department are celebrating their national campaigns this week, and you can see those on the website. I want to also remind you about Pink Out, which is tomorrow night, in honor of Dana Marabella, and Kevin Klein will be there present to accept the donation from the volleyball team. All proceeds of their t-shirt sales goes directly to the Snowdrop Foundation, which is a pediatric cancer organization, nonprofit. Also, I wanted to, and I know I saw him a minute ago, but I just want to congratulate Coach Knipes and his varsity football team, his students, his staff, on 3 great wins for the last 3 weeks. And I know we've all enjoyed seeing that and being a part of that. So I wanted to congratulate him. And I also really seriously want to encourage you to pick up a Tribe U flyer. We had an accountability meeting on October the 10th. And we had about 10 participants, and we really truly want to have more of you there and more of your input and being able to share firsthand the operations of the district. So there's flyers up here. I'm going to invite you to come pick one up, but you can also go on the website, and the flyer is there, the registration form, and as I said before, you do not have to register to be there, but it helps us in planning for materials, handouts, and the next one's November 14th, which is safety and a tour of the campuses. So we'll need to know for transportation purposes. So I'm going to encourage you to pick that up. And everybody just have a great week, and we're going to look for another win in Port Neches Grove. And our volleyball team is actually in the playoffs, so good things are happening with our athletic teams, and I just want to congratulate them. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Snyder?
I ain't got much tonight. Thank y'all for all coming out. Again, congratulations, football team. Thank y'all again for all coming out.
Mr. Kelly?
Thank everybody also, and to the candidates that are here tonight, and to the incumbents. I wish you all good luck on the election. To all the departments, I really appreciate everything y'all do, and keep up the good work. I know there's a lot of challenges this year to work with, and I appreciate everything you're doing. Thank you.
Dr. Schuman?
When you came in this evening, I hope you picked up one of the papers that we had out front. Ms. Ross put this together for us, our Executive Director of Learning, and it shows some of the positive trends that are going on in the district. One of the things that you'll notice is that there's some longitudinal data, and it's compared to the state because going from one year to the next, state assessments have changed along with the assessment process. And so we just gave you some examples there of state data along with our district data. Also, if you notice our ACT scores, college readiness exam, we're trending above state average in those. For our 8th graders who took the 2018 PSAT, 78% of them met English reading and writing benchmark, and this is a standardized college readiness indicator exam. Our graduation rates trend typically above the state, and our dropout rates below, which is the one time you want to be below state average. And so these are available out front on the podium if you did not get one. And moving forward, you will see some additional data being added to the website. So just keep an eye out because there are good things going on.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Logan?
I'd also like to thank everyone for being here this evening. Like to congratulate the volleyball team on making the playoffs, the football team, they're making a good run. Before the game, they did I thought a great job honoring Chris with the coin toss with his mom and dad. That was phenomenal. Great job on doing that. And everyone have a safe drive home.
Ms. Skufka?
Well, again, thank you for everyone who's here tonight, and we're pleased to see that your interest remains high in what's going on. I am going to have to make a short response to something that I just heard. Apparently, in a meeting that I was in attendance at, frustration must have been accidentally taken as laughter. There was no laughter that came out of my mouth at that meeting.
And Mr. Rothmühl?
I do want to thank everybody for being here, and I'm going to ride on Wayne's deal about the football and volleyball team, and y'all have a safe journey home. Appreciate y'all being here tonight. Thank you very much.
Mr. Davenport?
Well, I saw TJ put the microphone in front of me, so he's anticipating me to go long, but I'm actually going to put myself on a 3-minute timer starting right now. There's a few things I'd like to talk about. Coffee Talk. If y'all haven't heard about it, like we talked about this earlier tonight, it's awesome. I've gotten some great feedback, so I appreciate that starting. Literacy. Whatever you do, I don't care how old or how young, start reading to kids. Even if it's your kids are all grown and everything else, start reading. Just pick up a book, pick up a page, pick up just a chapter at a time. You cannot do enough of it. That'll also help our academics in the long run, so I cannot stress that enough. The clock is intimidating, by the way. I'm looking at it right now. So,
There you go.
thank you, Scott.
Good job.
The one thing I want to look at, look around you again. You know, y'all all heard me over the summertime. I was saying I wish that this boardroom would stay full. It's dwindling a little bit. Get out there and talk to everybody else. Get them back in here. I know some things are not the most exciting to listen to. I know some things are not the most, hey, let's take this home and tell everybody. But it is at least information. And with that being said, information is the key. I'm going to lead into Rosie. I heard some wonderful things, not only tonight, but I've also heard some other things from other peers of ours. And some of y'all don't know that Rosie and I graduated together. So we do have a lot of peers that are the same age. We ran with some of the same crowds and everything else. Rosie, I'm extremely excited to say that some of the stuff that you've done individually has been made me more proud. So I appreciate what you're doing. So now, that kind of gets my time. But I'm being serious and sincere, and you've also spent some time with the district employees and staff. So thank you for that as well. You're very welcome. There's some others, I know Darnell, Leslie, Scott, Donna. Keep doing what you're doing. But I have to follow the same suit that some of the message was tonight also. We have to work together still. No matter what we have to do, if you read it to yourself and you think, can this be construed as negative? I mean, I hate to say it, some of it, we have room for improvement. I know we do. But in the end, read it to yourself and you say, can this be perceived negative? Chances are, if you feel like, yeah, somebody's going to read it. And that's why I hate social media so much, because you know what? It can be written so well with great intent, great heart, and you know what? The other person on the other end sometimes reads it a different way because of their emotions. Emotions are so high right now in this community, in this district. It's 30 seconds, Scott. But it's tough. It really is. But we really need to get back to, if we sit and think, pause for a second. That's all I'm asking. Pause for that 1 second. Just sit here and think. How is the other person going to listen or read this? And it'll make a difference. Pay it forward. If somebody's doing well, I know I'm going long. If you read it and it's something that's positive, pay a compliment forward to the next person, even if you disagree with their opinions. It's okay. To the Wamplers and Miss Daniel, I've sat behind y'all in church for years, so I did not personally know that was going on, and I apologize from the deepest part of my heart.
May I make one comment?
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Scutton, thank you. You were the only school administrator who did anything to help tuition. And I really, really appreciate it. She hid this from us until this year. She never told us what was going on. Those photographs, I couldn't believe it. I searched them up on your old.
Well,
My teacher showed me things clear. I could not believe what she was telling me on here. She told me you were the only one that ever stood up for her in the hallway when somebody was bullying her. And you took that person and you got that person protected from the school. We had some other administrators. But I really sincerely thank you for being the one standing for us.
well, and that goes along with what I'm trying to say is, thank you for the courage. Thank you for your courage. And with that said, to the incumbents as well as the candidates, best of luck. I look forward to working with whomever. So, thank you.
Dr. Wall, you have anything?
I think
4
Mr.
minutes,
Davenport
34
said it all. So just, I do appreciate the comment for literacy, because I do believe that if you read to your children, then our children will be much better equipped to do well across the board. So it doesn't matter how old they are. Read to your children, read to their grandchildren. So thank you for that. Also, I'd like to thank our staff, teachers, administrators, and our students. They're working hard. They're working really hard to try to excel and do well. And I will tell you, we see some successes. Our band has success, our football teams have success. We have academic successes. Dr. Schumann mentioned a few. We have areas to work on, there's no doubt about that, and we realize that. And I promise you, our teachers, administrators, and kids are working hard to get where they need to be. So thank you very much for your support. We will continue to work together for our kids, and that's the most important thing. So thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.